To get to this prison, each person must spend $5,000 for as long as they have persisted. If you live here for 1 year, you will receive $1 billion. Every day, prisoners will be provided with one meal, with rich, 5-star quality. This guy spent all his savings to get to this prison. As soon as he signed the death certificate, he was suddenly stunned by the governor when he opened his eyes and realized he had arrived in prison. At this time, the person sitting opposite was an old man who wanted to greet him, but the old man waved his hand and told him to return home. He suddenly genuflected in front of him. As soon as he was confused, a giant food table was slowly brought down. The initial fascinating 5-star meal has become redundant, but even so, the old man still devoured it because they only had 5 minutes to eat before the time was up. This table will automatically update. This was the 48th floor of the prison, and this meal was also contaminated by nearly hundreds of people above. However, he still ate fast and said that if he didn't eat, he would starve to death at night because there was only one meal. Goran did not say anything. He just picked up an apple. While Goran was confused, the old man spit on his food. Then he explained, "I just did the same as people on the upper floor." The room temperature suddenly increased while he was about to be grilled because of the high heat. The old man lay calmly in bed, throwing away the apple you had picked up. Otherwise, the temperature will increase until all things are burned into ashes. He threw it off, and the room's temperature immediately returned to normal. He also advised him to eat anything he had. It will not be as lucky as the upper floor because they will be randomly indicated every month going up or down the new floor. The old man was unfortunate to be about to enter the 168th floor. Goran immediately asked, "So the lower floor is still food?" The old man said, "Of course not." He continued to ask, "How can you survive?" The prison stipulated that each person could carry one thing. While he brought a book, the old man was with a knife. Suddenly, someone fell from the upper floor. I just looked at him and said, "Suicide happens here regularly." The table was gradually going down, and a woman was sitting in the middle. Goran greeted her, but it seemed that she didn't want to talk to him. The old man said that this woman was coming here as usual to find her daughter. Then she was transferred to the next floor. 2 men with perverted thinking immediately lifted her into the corner. After that, Goran tried to stop, but she returned. She killed them, which would increase the chance to find her daughter. Goran thought that the meal was very unfair. He suggested that everyone eat quantitatively to get enough food for each floor. As a result, they mocked him, so the old man immediately stood up and taught them a lesson. No one can bully his prisoner. They had grown close until today. When Goran awoke, he realized he was bound. It turned out that they were assigned to the 171st floor. There was no food left here. The old man could only bring him out for dinner. He took a prepared knife. The blade walked along his body. At this moment, the woman from yesterday appeared. She held the bottle of wine to beat the old man, then picked up the knife to stab him. Goran also survived. At this time, he was assigned to the 33rd floor. The roommate was a woman. Goran immediately realized that this was the prison. The manager was also a woman and was ready to experience the place. She told Goran that this was not a prison but a self-crushing center. As long as we unite and consciously divide the food, people can live here all year to receive rewards. But because of human greed, it is almost impossible. After that, they were pushed to the 202nd floor. The prison guard decided to commit suicide and allowed the inmate to survive. Goran once again woke up. This time, he was transferred to the 6th floor. It appeared to be only when the prisoner was present. The other person had the opportunity to be upstairs. The man was black. He was carrying a bunch of ropes and wanted people above to pull him up so he could cheat on the number of floors. When we reached halfway, the person above us suddenly let go. Fortunately, Goran caught him. It turned out that the above people were just teasing him about being black. The only hope to escape from the prison failed. He may never have the opportunity to leave here again. A 5-star dinner had come. The food on this floor was almost gone. On the next floor, the 2 people below started wasting food. Ang suddenly came up with a bold idea. He persuaded Bahar to go down with him and divided the diet for each person. Finally, we followed the dining table to return. They broke the bed frame for weapons. 50 floors above. Goran did not allow anyone to eat anything off the table because they ate food every day and could not starve to death. If someone resists, they will be beaten. Goran and Bahar met a man. He said if they followed their way, they would completely fail. Both of them had to keep a little food for themselves. Food is sent to the floors through the dining table. Do not let the prison management know. Everyone was trying to change the rules. They finally show a small cake. They continued to distribute food. They realized that there was not enough food to distribute. As the number of floors was lower, the corpse began to appear, and Goran saw the woman looking for her daughter. She was tortured to death by 2 men. They were so angry that they rushed to beat them. As a result, Goran and Bahar were also seriously injured, but the table has still stopped. The lower floors gradually turned into hell. Suddenly, the dining table stopped on the 300 floors. Goran, now I saw a little girl who was the child of that woman. The girl blankly looked at the small cake. Despite being very hungry, they still decided to give it to her because Bahar lost too much blood. He could not survive. Goran went with her when the dining table continued to go down. He didn't know how long it was. It finally stopped. He desperately stepped away from the table. He let her return to the highest floor. She did not exist. This was just Goran's imagination. This prison strictly prohibits adolescents from participating. When a small cake was discovered by the management board, there was a hair on it. Because this manager taught the chef a lesson. People who were on the highest floor controlled a large amount of food. The middle layer left leftovers. People at the bottom can only starve.